Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're a student or a newer developer really trying to build a rock-solid foundation, you are absolutely in the right place. Today, we're going to demystify Django. How? Well, we're going to master the basics by following a single, solitary web request on its entire journey through the framework. It's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, here's our quick roadmap for today. We'll start with the request-response cycle, move into URL routing and dispatchers, touch on processing with Fuse, look at crafting the final response, and then wrap the whole thing up with a quick Django knowledge check. All right, section 1, the request-response cycle. So Django is built on this MVT architecture, which stands for Model, View, Template. Honestly, the best way to think about this is like a restaurant, right? The model is your pantry, storing all the ingredients. The view is the chef in the kitchen, handling the actual logic and prep. And the template? That's the final, beautifully plated meal presented to the user. This neat separation is exactly what makes Django so incredibly powerful for web applications. Now, let's trace the exact 6-stage lifecycle of a request. It all kicks off when a client clicks a link, sending an HTTP request. Django receives this and neatly wraps it up into an HTTP request object. Then URL routing jumps in to figure out exactly where this request needs to go, eventually handing it off to the view for the actual business logic. But woven throughout this entire pipeline is middleware, which does its thing before Django finally hands the finished response back to the user. Moving right along section 2, URL routing and dispatchers. When a request first hits your app, Django kinda has to play traffic cop, and it does this using a URL conf. Defined in your root URL configuration setting, this is basically a pure Python module that acts as a giant mapping system. It simply matches the requested URL path to the correct Python view function. It literally just reads the paths from top to bottom and stops at the very first match it finds. Pretty straightforward, right? And to pull specific variables right out of the URL, Django gives us these incredibly handy built-in path converters. I mean, look at how clean this is. If you need a user's ID, you just use the int converter to capture 0 or any positive integer. Or say you're building a student blog, the slug converter is perfect because it grabs ASCII letters, numbers, hyphens, and underscores perfectly. You've also got string for basic strings, UUID for formatted UUIDs, and path to match complete URL paths, slashes included. The best part? Django handles all the type conversion automatically before even handing it to your view. Now, when you're actually defining these routes in your code, you've got two main tools at your disposal. You can use Path for that clean, super readable routing using the built-in converters we just talked about. Or if you need something highly specific, you can bust out Repath. This allows for really complex, flexible matching using regular expressions. Honestly, for most of your student projects, Path is going to be faster and much easier to read, but Repath is your heavy-duty alternative for those complex validations. All right, section 3, processing with views. But wait a second, before and after the view actually does its main job, the request passes through middleware. Think of these as your global security guards. They're handling all those crucial background tasks, like checking if a user is actually logged into your app or managing sessions, and they do it all globally without you having to write that same code into every single view. It's a massive time saver. Okay, section 4, crafting the final response. So there are two really vital ways to send our response back. On one hand, we've got HTTP response. This is the most basic way to send data back. It returns raw plain text, there's absolutely no template rendering, and your context processing is entirely manual. It's great for quick debugging or simple APIs. But on the other hand, we have the render function. Guys, this is a brilliant shortcut. It loads an HTML template, passes in your context data, and then automatically returns that final HTTP response object for you. For like 95% of your web pages, render is exactly what you want to use. Now, here is a super common beginner mistake we see all the time. Please don't mix HTML strings right inside your Python code using HTTP response. Remember that MVT architecture we talked about earlier? We really want to keep our logic in the view and our UI over in the templates. Sticking to render forces you to maintain this clean separation, which, trust me, is going to make your code infinitely easier to maintain down the road. Actually, if you're ever in an interview and they ask you the difference between the two, just memorize this exact quote from the documentation. HTTP response returns raw content directly. Render is a shortcut that loads a template, injects context, and returns an HTTP response object. Boom. It's short, it's clear, and it's perfectly technical. It shows you absolutely know what's happening under the hood. Awesome. Section 5, Django Knowledge Check. All right, let's dive into some quick interactive flashcards to test what we've learned so far. Question 1. Imagine you're typing a URL into your browser, but you accidentally forget the trailing slash at the end. What does Django do if your URL conf route explicitly demands one? Take a quick guess. The answer? It gives you a 404 error page. Django's routing is incredibly precise. It searches against the requested URL as a normal Python string. So if the pattern demands a slash and your request doesn't have one, it's a no match, which immediately triggers your 404 error handler. Okay, let's test your template knowledge with question 2. What exactly happens when Django sees this double curly bracket syntax with a variable inside, like name? Well, when the render function processes your template, Django's template engine jumps in and literally replaces that double curly bracket placeholder with the actual value of the Python variable you pass through your context dictionary. That is exactly how your dynamic data actually makes its way onto your HTML pages. All right, final quiz question for you. You're coding away, your local development server is running in the background, and you hit save on an updated urls.py file. What happens to the server? Thankfully, the development server automatically restarts. Yeah, Django detects those changes in your pure Python modules and automatically reloads the environment. It totally saves you from having to manually shut down and reboot the server every single time you tweak a route. A total lifesaver. And that brings us to the end of our journey. With the mysteries of the request cycle totally unlocked, the power of URL dispatchers harnessed, and the difference between rendering and raw responses cleared up, what amazing web app are you inspired to build first? Let this structured MVT framework be the launchpad for your next great student project. Keep coding, keep learning, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.